I've had this Saito engine for some time, didn't actually know what it was. I got it in the plane, an extra watt. I weren't sure if it was a 120, a 150 or a 180. The crankcases are all the same, and so is the major dimensions on the engine. So it wasn't until I took it apart that I discovered it is in fact a Saito 120. I think they normally have a little label on there which has long since dropped off. Anyway, I took it apart because the performance had fallen off significantly, and I was getting this clicking noise as I was checking the tappets. I was getting a clicking noise as the valve tappet went over the cam, and I sort of was a bit concerned about that, so I took it apart and I found the cam. This is the original cam which was in there, and it's quite worn. I don't know if you can capture that, but it's pretty worn, and the clicking noise, I'm pretty sure, is because of this cam here is actually loose, and that's the reason for that. The lubes are quite worn, so I ordered a new cam and gear wheel, and sure enough the new one is staked very tightly and it doesn't move at all, and there's a lot more meat on the cams, so that's going to solve that problem, I hope. Whilst I had it apart, I changed the bearings, of course. They were in a bit of a poor state. It's the old rusty bearing. Got a nice new SKF bearing to put in there, and the same with the front seal bearing. Also, the reason I think the cam gear suffers so badly in these engines, I think it's the same for all those Saito engines, the lubrication is pretty poor. They normally have a breather fitted in the back plate, which I've now blanked off and drilled and tapped a hole in the front now, just behind the rear bearing, behind the front bearing. Tapped that M4, no it's M5, tapped that M5 to put the nipple into the front. My engine is mounted on the side, so that should be just right there, and that will force the oil residue forwards into the cam gear. The cam gear runs in there now, and it should therefore get plenty of lube.